Hi friends, it's Kristen or Krusty if you prefer to call me that, that is fine. And for today's video, we have the Nomad Witch City Salem palette that I just got yesterday in the mail. Excuse me, my voice. I also got a lipstick. So Nomad, this is their spooky season release for the year. This palette retails for $54. The lipsticks each retail for $17. If you buy the whole collection, the palette and the 3 lipsticks, it is, if you use a code, I believe it's Salem Witch, it's on the website if you go there. If you use that code, you get 20% off, and it's $84 for the whole bundle. You can get the palette and a lipstick, which is what I did, for $69 as a bundle. And then you can use, I don't think you can use 2 codes. So if you get the whole collection, I don't think you can use like a creator's code. But since I got the bundle, I was able to use a code, and that basically took care of the shipping. I used my friend DW's code from Dub's Beauty Diary. I'm very excited for her. She got this palette in PR, and I believe this is the first time of her getting a code with Nomad. So another thing with Nomad, they send a postcard, and they always have a cause, like a charity that they give to with each palette. So for this one, it is supporting Panthera, which helps save the wild black cats of the world. So that's always very cool. Another reason I love Nomad, there's several reasons. Not just are they great quality and great formula as far as eyeshadow goes. They give back. They work with a lot of smaller creators, which is really awesome. Gives little guys like me some hope. So yeah, and they're just a great company. So all right, so I'm going to do 2 different looks with my palette. Should we do the lips first? So the lipsticks, there's 3 of them. There's the purple leading one, which is the one I got, and it is called Hocus Pocus. There's a gold looking one and a reddish one. I knew like the gold one and the red one I wouldn't get a lot of use of, so that's why I picked the purple. And it's very pretty. It's got like the swirl effect. Very cool. And that's what she looks like. So let's grab a lip liner. What's this color? That definitely won't work. Okay, I probably should have planned this out before. I'll just grab this one. I have my base done and my eyes primed. So as just a regular lipstick, it does feel creamy and nice, kind of lightweight, not the most opaque, what you'll notice when I swatched it, but I don't mind that. Feels nice. So, and then, it's a lipstick, so it's not going to be like transfer proof or anything, but so here's the palette. The inner package got that lenticular motion. Very cool. And then you open her up and she's got 18 shades in there. Wonderful color story. Beautiful. I love it. There's cool embossings. All right. So we're just going to dive in. And I never planned this out, which I really should, because I'm not good at small talk and I don't know how to edit, so I'm gonna go in with Witchcraft up there. I'm going to get a fluffier brush to stay. I really need to wash this mirror. It's terrible. I'll use the mirror here. This will make my 12th Nomad palette. Very happy about that. I'm just so excited. I'm going to go into Salem Commons. Good grief. Also, Nomad does like a guessing game, trivia kind of thing on both their Instagram and their Facebook, where they give you like hints about shade names or where the palette's going to be based in. And you can like play that, and they randomly pick, I believe it's 2 people from Facebook and 2 people from Instagram. Not 100% sure exactly, but, and then you win a palette from them. And I actually won their last palette, the Route 66 palette. Then they also do a program, which I think it was like a year or so ago that I was able to get in on, called the Starfish program, where you're nominated by whoever, and they randomly pick a couple of people, and you can pick whatever palette you want. I'm going to go into Witch City, which is that black. So you don't even have to necessarily be a creator, you know, if you play in the game, like the guessing game. You can just be a fan on, you know, Facebook or Instagram, and just a really great company. That goes on really smooth. Their formula is amazing. It's super blendable, really easy to work with. It's one of my recommendations if you're somebody who is new to eyeshadow, especially color, because sometimes that can be a little bit harder to work with than, say, like neutrals. I'm going to go into Ropes Mansion down here. Excuse me. Because the colors are, or the formula is so easy to work with, so it helps to, you know, kind of get practice in, because they are so blendable and such a good formula. Then I'm going to go with Gallows Hill, that like medium purple. And not to mention all the other reasons I enjoy them, you know, how they give back, how they work with these smaller creators. Just a good company. So I'm going to go in with, I can't see the name of the shade. Something Point, right up here. Okay, we got look number 1 down. Let's throw some mascara on. I was gonna grab my mascara before I started filming. I even thought that. I swear I remember reaching for it, but I got distracted and didn't. Okay, so there's eye 1. So I wanted to go a little bit more like darker spooky, and then I want to do a little bit brighter on the next one. So I want to go with the greens and kind of that purpley shade. So I'm going to go Haunted Happenings, that kind of like a beige orange color. Another thing too is a lot of times they will include like neutral shades in their palettes, which for my personal preference, I'm like, meh. But I understand as far as like a business and for more consumers. So, you know, if you're not super comfortable with color, you can like use the neutrals and just kind of dip your toes into some of that more colorful stuff. So it really, I think, appeals to a lot of people, a lot of their shadows, a lot of their palettes. And I'm really glad they did lipsticks. I believe they did some highlight, like at least one highlighter, but this was like a long time ago before I really started getting into makeup. They did some like skincare stuff. I'm gonna go into Dark Demons, which is that bright green with their like travel line. But they haven't done a whole lot outside of eyeshadow as far as makeup goes. So I was excited to see that they delved into some lipsticks. And I'm gonna go into this like dark murky green here that is Seven Gables. And I'm gonna put that on my lower lash line. And just a little bit on my like outer lid, and I made a mess. That's okay. So, a little messy. This is not my, I call this my troublesome eye because it's more hooded than my other eye, so I have a little bit of a harder time as far as like putting shadow on. And then there's like a little spot. It's not doing it right now, but there's a spot on there too that like just doesn't like shadow to stick to it. So it is my problem eye. And then I think I'm just gonna do, no, I'm gonna go in with Harvest Moon, so that little bit of a darker orange. Oh, let's see. I do have smaller eyelids, so I don't always use my finger for shimmers unless, especially if I want to be a little bit more precise, because having such small eyelids, and I don't have particularly big fingers, I don't think, but average size compared to my tiny eyelids, so it makes it a little bit harder to place shadow nicely, unless I'm going for a little bit more all over the lid. And then I'm going to go in with Witching Hour into like the middle. So I'm going for the halo eye, which is hard once again with smaller eyelids, but we'll give her a shot. And I think I'm going to spray a little bit of setting spray to make it pop a little bit more since I'm not using my finger. Okay, so we will throw some more mascara on, and then we will look at the final look. Okay, guys, so here is the final two looks with my Witch City Salem palette from Nomad Cosmetics. I love it. They really can't disappoint me, I don't think. You know, yeah, there's some color stories on occasion where I'm like, it's not for me, but really, it's just, they're one of my favorites. They definitely are. So, all right, guys, so this is the final look. There's lipstick. I like it. So, I'm very happy. Yeah, so I got, let's try that again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below, send your friends. We have fun here, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Bye.